Welcome to NHADEC Lunchtime Connections. The purpose of this webinar is to introduce NHADEC members to one another and give each one the opportunity to tell us about their business and capabilities. My name is Sean Foote, and I will be your host today. I am the Supply Chain Manager at Transport, as well as a NHADEC member myself. The format of today's webinar is as follows. We have two presentations. Each presenter will have approximately 8 minutes to talk about their company. During the presentations, I will be in charge of advancing the slides forward, so please let me know by saying, next slide. At the end of each presentation, there will be some time for Q&A. You can either ask a question of the presenter directly or type your question into the chat pane and I will pose it to them. To ask a question of the presenter directly, please raise your hand using the software interface and I will call on you. I will be monitoring time and keeping us on track. I may close Q&A if we're running long. Again, raise your hand in the webinar controls or use the chat pane if you have any questions for me during the webinar. But please do not interrupt the presenter. We are live recording. Before we start, one housekeeping item. As this is lunchtime, and I anticipate many of you will be eating lunch during the broadcast, please put yourself on mute. Now, I'd like to introduce Anya Brzezinski, Director of Operations at AeroDynamics. Welcome, Anya.
Hi, Sean. Thanks so much for the introduction and the opportunity to speak today. I'm Anya Brzezinski, the Director of Operations at AeroDynamics, and we are located in Seabrook, New Hampshire. Next slide, please. Ooh, that font is a little strange. Sorry about that. Something got corrupted. Like I said, we're located in Seabrook, New Hampshire, and we operate in about 45,000 square feet. Currently, our company is about 35 employees, and we're growing pretty steadily. Two of my current favorite stats about our workforce is that we're made up of 50% millennials and 50% women, which is pretty unique in the manufacturing world. We provide the niche service of metal finishing and electroplating primarily for aerospace and defense-related parts. Next slide, please. So what is metal finishing? For anyone who's not familiar with the term or not in the manufacturing world, metal finishing is a value-added service to manufacturers. We take a machined metal part and apply a wet chemical process that improves specific surface properties to the metal. Some examples of those properties are corrosion resistance, hardness, and lubricity, depending on the finish that's applied. Metal finishing applies to a bunch of different industries and is used for a whole host of reasons. A very commercial application of metal finishing would be bathroom accessories. They're often nickel or chrome plated for decorative purposes, but also as corrosion resistance because the bathroom is typically a wet place. AeroDynamics specializes in aerospace and defense finishes, which are not typically cosmetic, but are crucial for flight critical applications such as ball bearings that are chrome plated to increase lubricity during impact of landing. Next slide, please. At AeroDynamics, we focus on 7 major finishes that are most common for aerospace and defense parts. 15 years ago, we had over 50 finishes in the building, almost anything you could think of. Tin, gold, silver, bright dip, you name it, we did it. And the reason we cut those finishes out of our capabilities is that we wanted to become a premier aerospace metal finishing house. We got rid of the finishes that weren't relevant. We did not want to be everything to any one of our customers. And by honing our craft, we saw a huge quality improvement. We were able to be selective about the work we brought in-house, and we could be really confident that our customer is getting back high-quality parts. So our current 7 finishes are anodized, both sulfuric and hard coat, dyed and undyed, black oxide, chem film or conversion coating, chrome plating, electroless nickel, passivation of stainless steel, and zinc nickel. AeroDynamics also specializes in parts that require really intricate masking, multiple finishes, and specialized racking. So we're not finishing lots of sheet metal or parts that you can throw in a basket and run down the processing line. The parts we specialize in have tight tolerances with strict quality guidelines. It's not uncommon for us to spend more time teching out a job than plating it to make sure that all the requirements are met, that the surfaces that are supposed to be plated are to the correct thickness, and the ones that aren't supposed to be plated are free from any plating. Our masking and racking capabilities are what set us apart from our competition. We don't let just any employee mask parts. We have extremely rigorous masking and racking technical training that people have to go through. Most of our employees have 3 or more years of masking experience, and we use a variety of mediums to mask. So you can see the pictures on the right. Those are some examples of masking that we do. So some parts require up to 5 different mediums, whether it's tape, lacquer, paint, pull plugs, push plugs. We have a special cutting machine that can cut different shapes into tape so that we can do something that's like a little bit funky. But it's a painstaking process, and it's definitely what sets us apart and leaves our customers very happy. Next slide, please. So here are some of our most significant certifications. Our governing body and quality system is NHADEC. We've been NHADEC accredited since 1996. And for the past 6 years, we've received merit status, which separates us from different NHADEC shops. That means that pretty much our audits are as close to flawless as they can be, so we don't have to do it every year. We get the option to push it out 18 or 24 months because we're following so strictly within the guidelines. The president of AeroDynamics also sits on the NHADEC quality board, and we have several employees who are active voting members of NHADEC, so we're very involved there. We have a federal firearms license, which allows us to do defense and firearms work. We are a certified women-owned small business, which is really unique in the metal finishing and manufacturing worlds. This certification is extremely important to us because a lot of our prime customers are mandated to sub out their work to a certain % of diversity suppliers, so we meet that need for them, which is really great. And we're really proud to be a woman-owned small business. We partner with a lot of local groups, such as Great Bay Community College, to promote women in manufacturing. And our last important certification is that we are ITAR certified and compliant. That's all. So thanks so much for letting me speak. Any questions?
Thank you, Anya. Let me take a look. Actually, there is a question that someone posed into the chat pane, and it is, what sets you apart from other plating shops?
Definitely all of our certifications, but you know, NHADEC in plating is sort of a dime a dozen. So the thing that really sets us apart is our customer service. We encourage our customers to drop by, shoot us an email, give us a phone call. You're going to call AeroDynamics and always reach a live person. Our customers know they can always call, get a prompt answer, and they can relay that to their customers. So that's definitely what sets us apart.
Oh, excellent. And then another question here actually is, are you looking to add any more finishes?
At this time, no. Like I said, we focus on aerospace and defense finishes, and we cover all of them at the moment. If we had someone, a great customer approach us with a new program that required a new finish, we'd be open to exploring that possibility, but right now we're not currently pursuing anything new.
Well, that's excellent news. Well, thank you, Anya, and your information is right there on the screen if anyone is looking to contact you, and we appreciate your time and your presentation today. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So I'd like to thank you all so much for both the presenters and the audience and attendees. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention. If you'd like to refer to this presentation or share it with someone you think would be interested, the video of today's episode will be posted on YouTube and on the NHADEC blog. And if you were an attendee today and interested in being a presenter at an upcoming episode, please send me an email. Thank you again, everyone, and I hope you have an excellent day.